Hi everyone, in this video today I'm going to be talking to you about the sound differences between the Hiby R3, the R3 Pro and the R3 Pro Saber, which are the three Hiby R3 DAPs that currently exist today. And this opinion is based on my listening using the Hybis MS4, which are the IEMs that I have here, which are using a 2.5 balance cable by Jinju, and it's using also the IFI IE Match 2.5, which is an impedance adapter currently set into it's currently set to the ultra setting here. So yeah, let's start by talking about the Hiby R3. So the Hiby R3 uses an ES9028 Q2M DAC, and the sound quality is great. It sounds great. Except that it's basically musical. The representation is musical, especially in the mids. Doesn't have too much price height, and the bass amount it's just good. It's in something great. And when I got the Hiby R3, I also got the Hybis DH1000 or the Tempotec Sonata IDSD Plus, which is essentially the same. This one has two DACs. The Hiby R3 has one DAC, so the um, Tempotec and Hybis has two DACs of ES9018 K2M. And the difference between these two is that when I got both, I prefer to use the Tempotec rather than the R3 because the this DAC basically provides a more detailed and more provides a better tone when it comes to the heights and mids and the bass, of course, but it's not as musical as the R3. However, for me, for my listening pleasures, it provided a better sound, so keep that in mind. Hiby R3 wins for the musicality in the mids. That's basically all that I have to say. When Hiby released their R3, everything changes because this one features two DACs, and they changed from the ESS chips to Cirrus Logic. This one has two CS43131 DACs, and essentially the sound of Cirrus Logic for based on my listenings is that it's more warm rather than analytical, and so you can expect from the R3 a more warmer bass and mids response while having a very nice highs, but the highs are not as bright. So essentially, if you're looking for a warmer sound, the R3 Pro is the one that you are looking for. Then we have the Hiby R3 Pro Saber. This one is apparently it's a special edition. I don't know if they are going to continue selling this in the future or if it's a limited time release. But being that the Hiby R3 features an ESS chip, I don't know if the R3 Saber will be continue to be produced alongside with the regular R3. So the R3 Pro Saber features two DACs, ES9218P, and it's essentially the same DAC that uses this channeling up for the FIIO BTR5 as well as the Hybis AP80 and AP80 Pro. I do not have the AP80 Pro to compare the Hybis with the Hiby. However, all I can say is that this one is my favorite so far, as it seems to provide more air in the sound. It's more airy. It's analytical, of course. That's why they released it. It has a more open sound. The Hiby R3 sound is also open, but it's more warmer. And this one being a little bit more brighter, at least for me, the sound is more open, and so you can expect more details in the sound, more air, perfect heights, at least, you know. Again, these are based on my listenings of the Hybis MS4. It's a really great pair using the balance connector. And yeah, basically, that's what I have to say of this one. They all sound great. The difference between the R3 and R3 Pro is that DAC change, and again, I'm really preferring the sound of the R3 Pro Saber. The bass is also more detailed. It's more the tone is better, I should say. Even if it's not too warm as the R3 Pro, but technically it has like a more depth, I should say, have more depth to it. And the mid's representation, it's great. Vocals are forward, a little bit forward, not too forward, but open as well, and airy. There's airy vocals, something that I haven't found in the R3. Again, the R3 Pro is more warmer, so vocals are warmness, not as open as the R3 Pro Saber. So having said that, that's my conclusion of all three devices. They are good devices and good DAPs. They all have the same features, except that the Pro series, both the R3 Pro and R3 Pro Saber, they support USB MQA decoding. It's also renderer, but it also decodes when used as a USB DAC. The R3, the regular R3, doesn't have MQA support when using it as a USB DAC, but it decodes MQA files that you have stored on your SD cards and on Tidal, of course. That it's basically the most major difference that other than the DACs. Of course, the R3 only have one DAC, and the R3 Pro features dual DAC. So keep that in mind. So obviously the sound will sound more open, but the R3 Pro Saber is the one that really has an advantage there, at least from my listening sessions. So yeah, pretty much that's it. I really hope that you like this video, and it allows you to make a better decision of which of these DACs to get. The R3 Pro Saber, of course, it's a little bit brighter, but it's not actually that bright. It is not harsh or anything like that. It's actually that the sound is more open and more detailed, but it's actually not that too bright that it will, how do I say it, like it will pierce your eyes, your ears, I should say. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not a piercing sound in the eyes or something like that. So yeah, again, my favorite is the R3 Pro Saber. And differences, you can see the difference in that the Saber has Saber written in the side. Other than that, they are identical in design, so you have to look at that. Firmware wise, they are also the same. You can see that both have same firmware versions, so that's also something else that basically it's the same hardware except for the DAC, same firmware. And physically you can check the Saber because it has Saber on this side. So yeah, that's basically all that I have for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like this video, comment on it, share it with your friends, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.